All right, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the Virtual College Exploration for All Illinois Students, sponsored by the Illinois Association for College Admissions Counseling and StriveScan. Thank you again for joining us. I do have a few housekeeping items and announcements to kind of share before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you today. And this is just one of many different sessions happening, so please be sure to check out the full schedule at IACAC.org. And this presentation is also being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website, IACAC.org. So thank you, and now I will turn it over to our presenter.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone for taking time out of your day to come and meet with me. My name is Patrick Dean. I'm one of the admissions representatives from Suffolk University located in downtown Boston. I'm going to share my screen right now to open up our presentation. I'm going to start off just by giving a quick presentation and a rundown about Suffolk University, just giving some general information, and then go off from there and kind of show you our virtual tour and show you a little bit about what our campus looks like. So to start off, the question that we always ask is why Suffolk University? And that's probably kind of what brought you all here today, is to figure like, why should I come to Suffolk University and what makes it worth for me? And before I start going into it and giving you the admissions representative perspective, I really want to bring in some students and show you what some students have to say. So our first student that we have is Abby right over here. She was a graphic design graduate. She graduated in the year 2019, so she's one of our most recent grads. She came from a small town originally, and one of the things that really attracted her to come to Suffolk University was our downtown Boston location and really all the accessibility that the city has to offer. Our next student right over here is Matthew. He's an environmental science major going into his junior year, so a really exciting time for him. Probably one of the biggest reasons why he chose to come to Suffolk University was just because of all the internship and partnership opportunities that we have being downtown. He loved being right next to the Massachusetts State House, which later on the virtual tour, I'll show you exactly where that is. And finally, we have Morgan, another one of our recent graduates in 2019. She was actually one of our former ambassadors. So it was really great to see her move on and do great things. But one reason why she really wanted to come to Suffolk University was the fact that it is located in Boston. And she really loved the small individualized class sizes with all the opportunities that Boston had to offer. So really between all three of these students, Boston is really the common theme here. And it's really the common theme for most of the students that you meet. Our location is something that really adds a lot of value to your academic and social experience. But we're not the only school located in Boston. As of right now, there are actually 35 universities located in Boston, which in my opinion really makes it the best college town in the entire country. But what really sets us apart? Well, number one, we're the only school located actually right in the heart of downtown Boston. So we're really surrounded by a bunch of fantastic culture of arts, entertainment, dining, sports, and real-world experiences. And number two, we offer a true university experience here at Suffolk. But what does a true university experience actually mean when you compare it to just your normal college education and just going to school? Well, first, we mean we have more than 70 undergraduate programs on campus between the Sawyer School of Business and the College of Arts and Sciences. Between those two schools, we have just about 5,000 undergraduate students on campus. If you throw in the grad program, that's another 1,000 students, and then our law school that we have on campus has another 1,000 students as well. So the undergrad population is just about 5,000. The total population on campus is just about 7,000 students. And we really mean you have access to interdisciplinary courses as well as resources that cross boundaries between the school. So say if you happen to be a graphic design major, a lot of graphic design majors end up making their living in something like marketing. So a lot of our graphic design students go right over to the Sawyer School of Business and they end up getting involved with either like a couple marketing classes, a marketing minor, or even going all the way and getting a double major in graphic design and marketing. We also mean we have 19 NCAA Division III teams. It's actually a wicked exciting time to start getting involved in Suffolk athletics. We're moving into a brand new conference called the CCC, the Commonwealth Coastal Conference. It's going to be a little bit more competitive for us, which we're very excited for. And this year we saw a lot of great success in our former conference, the GNAC conference, where we won a couple championships with our indoor track and field team. Some of our teams are hosting their first playoff games that we've seen in a while, and a couple of our coaches won Coach of the Year too, which is great. We have amazing facilities on campus with our Ridgeway Gymnasium, which you saw with the basketball court earlier, the East Boston Sports Complex with our soccer field, and our hockey team actually was invited to scrimmage right here at historic Fenway Park when they freeze it over for Frozen Fenway, where they take a bunch of the college students in the area and have them compete on the ice. And we also mean that we have streamlined paths to advanced degrees in our graduate school. You can get a head start here at a master's degree and complete a BA to BS to an MA to MS in just 5 or 6 years. Or you can even try out our 6-year law degree, starting to work with our law faculty while you're still an undergraduate student here. We really want you to be thinking about your undergraduate journey as a whole. So we want you to start looking towards grad school as soon as you come in here as a freshman and seeing what are the opportunities available for you and where you can grow from there to either attend a graduate or law school here at Suffolk. And we really offer an education that takes full advantage of the city and all of its surroundings. Suffolk classes regularly venture outside of the classroom and into different companies, civic organizations, government offices, and all other entities that surrounds our campus. We truly focus here on hands-on experiential learning. Just to give a couple examples, we have our student right over here, Olivia, who actually produces a segment called Suffolk in the City with NECN, which is the main New England news network. And there she's actually working in our own TV studio, and it's televised all regionally. I can show you where our TV studio is right when I jump into the virtual tour, right when I'm done with the presentation. Or we have an opportunity that I should have taken advantage of when they were doing it during tax season. We have some of our accounting students actually working with faculty, staff, and international students, helping them do their taxes. I struggled with mine so much, so I'm glad to know that we have students here now that can help me out with this. Or we have some of our marketing majors doing actual market research and strategy consulting for downtown businesses, putting the new skills and knowledge that they learned in the classroom to work and really enhancing their skills, processes, and getting some phenomenal feedback from people in the field to truly help them. Really, it goes to show that internships and experiential learning is huge on campus. And to talk about internships, they really are a vital part of many courses here at Suffolk University, and our students are perfectly situated to take advantage of them, being either just a short walk or even just a quick tea ride away. Here's a list of some of the top organizations that our students intern with. Me personally, I'm a huge Boston Bruins sports fan, so I love to see some of our students going over to intern with the Bruins. And really, it's our location that makes all of this possible because many of these employers are our next door neighbors and they know Suffolk University and they know what our students have to bring to the table. They are getting people who are competent, hardworking, ready for a challenge, and truly eager to learn by doing. And another great thing about being downtown is many of our alumni end up working right down the block from us. That means networking, mentorship opportunities are right down the block as well. Plus, a lot of those alumni find it very easy to come back to campus to continue to mentor our students and help them succeed in fields that they want to get into. But really, here's the crazy thing. You have all of these amazing breadth of resources and options available to you, but you won't lose your identity. We have a 15-to-1 student faculty ratio and an average class size of just about 21 students. So you're never going to be sitting in the back of a 300-person lecture hall, and your professors are really going to get to know your name, learning styles, goals, and aspirations as well. Although we have the opportunity for students to hold the role of a teaching assistant, they are not physically teaching your courses. All courses are going to be taught by our faculty members. So at Suffolk, you really have the best of all possible worlds. All the resources of a university combined with all the opportunities of a city, where you will be a name instead of a number, and that's a very unique position to be in. So I talked a lot about what we have at Suffolk academically and all the resources that we offer. So the next natural question might be, what else and what more is there to do on campus? Well, first, coursework is obviously going to be the keystone of any education, but it's not the only aspect of the college education experience. There are so many other things to get involved with at Suffolk that will expand your horizons and hone those adaptive skills, communication, teamwork, and leadership that are crucial to really making yourself known in your industry and developing those skills for you. To start off, we have just about 120 clubs that we offer on campus. I believe right now the Video Gamers Army, and it's going to pop up a little bit, the Student Government Association is our #1 club on campus. These are just the tip of the iceberg of them that offer a range of activities for students. If you have any interest, academic or otherwise, there's a chance that there's going to be an on-campus group that shares that same interest. It truly is the easiest way to start making friends on campus and meet people who are on the same wavelength as you. And no matter what you have in common, no matter what you're into, you're going to have something in common with someone here at Suffolk University. There are also ways that we offer to help make the world around us a better place. Like I was talking about before, Boston offers us so many opportunities, so we want to give back to the city as much as we possibly can. So our students have done over 20,000 hours of community service, and we love to give back to the city. Community service is written right into our mission statement, and it's something that really hits home for all of our students. And all of this involvement can happen through classes, through our Center for Community Engagement, or through some of those student groups that I just talked about too, or even just on your own. Really, if you're passionate about your ideas, we don't want you to wait until graduation to start making a difference, and we won't make you either. Just to kind of talk a little bit about some other activities that we offer. We have one right over here, which is our Journey Leadership Program. This takes students on team building experiences, not just around Boston, but to Washington, D.C., Florida, and even down to Barbados. We also offer alternative wing and sprinter break programs that go even further than that, doing stuff like going down to Cambodia to work for Habitat for Humanity for the week. And we feel so strongly about these benefits of these experiences that we provide them at minimal to even no cost to some of our students here. And honestly, another great thing about being in the city is it truly provides the perfect backdrop for campus diversity. Just as people come from all over the country and all over the world to Boston, people come from all over to Suffolk University too. Right now, our international population represents just under a third of our total campus population, which makes us the third highest percentage in the entire country. And there are more than a dozen culturally affinity organizations here at Suffolk, all run by students and all offering warm, welcoming spaces and promoting sharing unique qualities that all of our students bring to our community. And truly, our students span the spectrum of race, gender identity, sexual orientation, political persuasion, income level, and nationality. It's really a community that makes sense in a multicultural international city like Boston, and a very natural fit, and one that truly helps prepare students for everyday life outside of the campus, filled with different backgrounds, perspectives, and ideals. And kind of speaking of a broad worldview as well, at Suffolk, we offer tons of global opportunities, and we're very well known for all the global opportunities that we offer on campus. To start, we'll start talking about some of our study abroad opportunities. We're partnered with just over 50 universities across the world, from Europe, Asia, down to Australia, and even down in South America. But sometimes the study abroad doesn't really fit into your schedule. So we still have other options. Students can go abroad for a summer, they can join a week-long faculty-led study tour, or even take courses that include a travel seminar along with it, also just lasting just 1 week. Another option is our Journey Leadership Program or alternative spring break program like I mentioned before. Just any great opportunities that we can give you to help you go outside and really experience everything. But probably the cornerstone of this would be our Madrid campus. We actually have our own campus located in downtown Madrid, and you have the option to either start at Boston or Madrid and continue 2 years into the Madrid campus. You also have the chance to do a traditional semester, or even a summer program there. If you study international relations, you can actually spend all 4 of your years at the Madrid campus. All classes at the Madrid campus are going to be taught in English. However, you will be exposed to the Spanish language being in downtown Spain. Also, you have the possibilities to travel all throughout the city and all throughout the country as well. And finally, probably my favorite experience, Madrid is home to our Global Gateway program. This is where you take your first year spring break and you actually have the opportunity to go to our Madrid campus for that week and just experience what it's like. I think it's usually anywhere from $0 to $500 depending on what scholarships you might get for the program. But that covers everything from your flight, food, housing, everything included. So it's probably one of the easiest and cheapest ways to get spring break in Europe. So I covered a lot of ground in just a short amount of time, and I really want to, and it really shows why Suffolk is unique and where we are in the world. But the next logical question is, what next, and what happens once you leave Suffolk University? So first things first, you're going to graduate in very good shape. Right now, 99% of our students are working or pursuing graduate school within a year of graduation, and 90% of our students are employed in relevant career goals. So that statistic shows that we're really preparing our students and giving them the opportunities necessary to help make differences and advances in fields that are truly meaningful to them. Right now, we have just over 84,000 alumni who live and work in just over 140 countries as well, making their voices and names well heard in government and public service, media, communications, entrepreneurship, the arts, basically every single field that we have at campus. Our alumni are very well known in their fields. And our alumni move on from the university with the maturity, interpersonal skills, and real world experiences to make immediate contributions to organizations and students who are truly ready to hit the ground running in a professional environment. There is so much to the Suffolk experience that results in these outcomes: experiential learning, the mentorship of faculty, mentorship of alumni. But one resource I haven't talked about is our Career Development Center. So basically, from your first day on campus all the way up into the day that you retire, you'll have the expertise of our Career Center to help you out. They help connect students with internships. They have job fairs and networking events that regularly come to our campus. They help with career counseling. They do resume and cover letter assistance, mock interviews, and even offer job search tools. For me, this is one of the most important offices that students can take advantage of. Like I've talked about time and time again on this presentation, our focus on experiential learning will help prepare you for your field, and you're going to know how to do your craft like the back of your hand. But the next step is you have to convince employers that you know how to do this. So go to the Career Development Center and really round yourself out as a person and learn how to convey your knowledge to future employers to let them know, hey, I know what I'm doing, and this is what I can bring to the table to better your company. And employers really see that. And truly, employers, especially those in Boston, love to hire Suffolk University graduates because in many cases, they know them already. Maybe they had them as interns, invited them to a job shadowing program, met them through different job fairs that we had on campus, or even networked with them through some of our faculty that have worked in the field or the alumni that we have currently in the field. In a sense, all of these organizations are really an extended part of the Suffolk University community, and they play a crucial role in our students' education. A big chunk of the real world is woven right into the fabric of the university, and it really helps students make the smoothest transition possible from college to their career. And Suffolk University offers an experience that gets you right into the action of the city and the world around you, and we don't make you wait. But at the same time, we want to provide you all of the tools possible and give you all the opportunities that you need to make differences in ways that are important to you. We've been doing this for just about a century now, really enabling students to make valuable contributions to the world, regardless of who you are, where you come from, what you may know, what you may look like, or what your financial resources might be. And we want to see what you might be able to bring to the table for us. So that's pretty much my huge spiel about Suffolk University. That's everything about us in a nutshell for y'all. So I'm going to move on to some of the next steps and talk about the application process. So right now I got some of the application deadlines listed right over here. Undergraduate is the early action is November 15th and regular decision is going to be February 15th. When we take a look at the application, we do take a holistic review. So we are paying attention to your college essay. We're paying attention to those letters of recommendation, what courses you've been taking, what activities you're involved in. We're taking a look at everything with your application, especially now more so than ever that we are going test optional for the foreseeable future. So we are not requiring you to submit SAT or ACT scores to us. If you choose not to submit your test scores, you're not gonna get docked at all for it. You can still get the top scholarship, you can still get admitted to the honors program, and you don't have to do any substitutes in any way, shape, or form. So no additional essays and no additional short answer questions. If you do decide to take the SAT or ACT and you feel it can help your application, you can self-report your scores to us. So you don't need to go through College Board and pay them to send us your scores. You can just send it to us right away and we'll take care of it from there. When you apply to Suffolk, again, you can either apply to Suffolk University Madrid or Suffolk University Boston, depending on where you want to start your academic journey. We take the common application as well as our very own Suffolk University application. When I'm looking at an average application, we usually see an average GPA of about a 3.2 to a 3.3. If students submit test scores, we usually see an average of about an 1100. For the SAT, and the ACT is going to be about a 21 to a 22 right there. We require one letter of recommendation, the college essay, and that's pretty much the complete application for us. One big key of advice that I like to add to students is, since we do pay attention to activities, don't be afraid to put everything you've done in there. It doesn't just have to be a club that you've done on campus. It can be a job that you've done, sports that you've done, travel teams that you've done outside of it. I really want to get to know who you are as a student and everything that you've done outside of the classroom as well. When you submit your application, you're automatically considered for one, admission to the university because it is the admissions application. You're also considered if you're going to get into the honors program, any type of merit-based aid that you're going to get. This year we were able to award merit aid on a scale of $5,000 at the low end all the way up to $22,000 for a student. And finally, any language-based programs that students might need. Finally, there are additional ways to be admitted to Suffolk University, such as taking advantage of our SU Advantage program. This is where we help students who may have had like a down semester or a down year in high school, but we see a lot of potential in these students, so we want to accept them into Suffolk University and give them all the resources possible to help them succeed and help them flourish. I've seen so many great students come into this program, make that transition from high school to college, and just take off and completely flourish in their programs. To talk a little bit about financial aid, right now 99% of incoming freshmen received some type of financial aid last year, and all applications, like I said before, are automatically considered for merit-based aid. We have two phenomenal tools that can help you out when you're looking at your total cost. One, we have the net price calculator, which every school who's in the FAFSA system uses. This is where you put in some basic financial information and you can get an estimate of what your need-based package might be. And two, a little bit more unique to us, we have a merit-based aid calculator. So this is where you can put in some basic grade information like test scores and GPA, and we'll give you what your merit aid might be on that scale of $5,000 to $22,000 that we had this year. Finally, I want to pull up this slide. Here are some important deadlines to keep in mind. Right now, March 1st is going to be the deadline for new freshmen coming in, so make sure you have your FAFSA in by then. We only require the FAFSA, so you don't have to submit the CSS profile or anything like that. And on top of that too, the FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. So it is free, so you don't have to go to any websites where you pay to do it. So make sure you do it through the FAFSA.gov webpage, and so that way you can do it free to use. And please make sure to use that net price calculator and that merit aid calculator too, so that way you can get a good understanding of what it is you would be paying. So now that I've covered everything in my presentation, I would love to switch over super quick to our virtual tour just to kind of show you where we are in Boston and where we are at Suffolk University. So right over here is the Massachusetts State House. It's real close to campus. Right over here, I'd love to show right in the middle of 73 Tremont Street. That's exactly where we have the TV studio right there. As I go along, we can see that Sargent Hall where our law school is. You can see with 10 West and Modern Theater, it's just so integrated into the city. This is actually right where our theater district is. So you can see the Paramount Theater and the Opera House right there. When they took this picture, Aladdin was in town, so it was a great show for some of our students to go to. And in Modern Theater, that's where we have our own theater on campus. And I believe we got Post Malone to play there about 2 years ago. Right over here is where the financial district of Boston is. So a lot of students love to gain internships right over there. Right over here, One Court Street, that's the newest residence hall that we have on campus. Students are very excited to move into there. It is actually the oldest skyscraper in the city of Boston, first one ever built, right next to the old Massachusetts State House where the Boston Massacre happened, the seal right over there. And students are living in these beautiful rooms with beautiful shots. And probably my favorite view on campus is going to be right over here at the top of Miller Residence Hall. So you can see that's what their room looks like with a really nice shot of the State House in the background. But I love the Prudential Center and the John Hancock building right over here in the background. Just a great place for students to hang out, do some homework, and just spend some time together. So that's pretty much everything that I have about Suffolk University. Real quick, I'm going to pull up a quick PowerPoint slide just so that way I can give you some of my contact information and show you a little bit about Suffolk University in case you have any questions that do pop up. So my email is pdean2@suffolk.edu. Please, please, please feel free to email me if you have any questions at all. I'm here to help you as much as I possibly can. I am the admissions counselor who reads applications from Illinois. So please, please, please feel free to use me as a resource and ask me any questions that you might have. But other than that, I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your day to attend the presentation today, and I hope you have a great day.
Wonderful. Thank you, Patrick.
Awesome,
And thank
thank you.
you, thank you, students, for joining. I will go ahead and share my screen with the closing slide. Okay. Well, whoops, there we go. And thank you again so much for joining. When you do close this window, there will be a link with a very quick 4-question survey. We appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for any additional sessions at IACAC.org. Also, in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as other session recordings as well at IACAC.org. Thank you so much, and I will go ahead and close out the webinar.